Lindau knew her journey was far from over. As the months passed, she continued to grow, not just as a student, but as a young woman ready to take on the world. Her dreams had begun to take shape, beyond the classroom, beyond Riverbend High. The elders had told her that her journey would be full of challenges, but also full of blessings. One evening, as she sat by the river with her closest friends, a figure approached them. It was Mama Keto, the elder who had always spoken with such wisdom. She was holding a small bundle wrapped in cloth. "I have something for you, Lindau," she said as she sat beside her. "A gift from the ancestors." Lindau was both surprised and honored. Mama Keto carefully unwrapped the cloth, revealing an ancient drum. It was beautifully crafted, its surface worn smooth by time, and yet its power seemed undiminished. "This drum," Mama Keto explained, "has been passed down through generations. It has witnessed the struggles and triumphs of our people. Now, it belongs to you." Lindau's hands trembled slightly as she touched the drum. She understood now what it meant to carry the weight of truth and wisdom. The ancestors had entrusted her with something far more precious than any grade or certificate. "You will find your voice through this drum," Mama Keto said. "It will guide you as it has guided those before you. But remember, the drum does not speak for you. It only helps you find the strength to speak for yourself." As Lindau held the drum, she felt a deep sense of connection to the past and to those who had walked this path before her. She could hear their voices in the rhythm of the drumbeat, whispers of strength, courage, and wisdom. Lindau's new responsibility was not without its struggles. As she began to speak out more, sharing her story with others, teaching younger students, the pressure mounted. Some praised her courage, while others criticized her. But Lindau had come to understand that no path of greatness was ever free from opposition. One afternoon, while walking home, Lindau saw a group of students gathered around a tree. They were arguing about something, probably gossip, as was often the case. Lindau's friend, Keto, stood at the center, trying to mediate. "You have to stop worrying about what others think, Keto," Lindau said, stepping forward. "The opinions of others are like the wind. It blows, it passes, but it never stays. What matters is your strength, not the strength of the storm." Keto looked at her, puzzled. "What do you mean?" Lindau smiled and pointed to a nearby antelope grazing peacefully in the field. "Look at that antelope. It does not concern itself with the lions that may lurk in the shadows. It runs when it must, but it does not live in fear. And when the wind blows, it stands firm, knowing it will pass. In the same way, we must live, standing firm against the winds of criticism, fear, and doubt." Kato's eyes brightened. "I see what you mean. I need to stand tall, like that antelope." Lindau nodded. "Exactly. The courage to be yourself, to live your truth, is the greatest strength you can have. Remember, no matter how fierce the storm may seem, it will always pass." And just like that, the group of students dispersed, their argument forgotten, as they were reminded of their inner strength. It was a season of rain in the village. The land was thirsty, and the heavens had opened their gates, showering the earth with blessings. But even amidst the rain, there was a sense of restlessness in the air. One morning, as Lindau stood with her friends by the school gates, she saw a familiar face approach. The old man who had once been known as a Rainmaker. He had disappeared for years after a mysterious illness had kept him away from the village. But now, he was back, and his presence carried a strange energy. He walked straight to Lindau, his cane tapping rhythmically on the ground. "Lindau," he said, his voice raspy but strong, "the rains have come. But it is not just a land that needs watering. It is the spirit of the people." Lindau listened closely, sensing that the Rainmaker had come to teach something deeper. "You, my child, have spoken your truth, and the land has responded. But now, the people must hear the rain, not just see it. There is a flood of change coming, and you must guide them through it." Lindau looked at him, a sense of awe filling her. "How can I do that?" "The same way the rain teaches the land to grow," he said. "You must nurture them with your words. You must teach them to listen to the rain, to understand that it brings growth, not destruction." And with that, the Rainmaker disappeared into the mist, leaving Lindau with a sense of purpose she had never felt before. As the years passed, Lindau's story became a legend in Riverbend High. Students came to her not only for guidance on academics, but for advice on life itself. She had become more than a student. She had become a teacher, a mentor, and a beacon of hope for those who feared the winds of life. One evening, as she sat with her friends by the river, she thought about how far she had come. She had endured the storms, faced the winds, and emerged stronger than before. Her dreams were no longer limited to the walls of the classroom. She knew her purpose now, and it was bigger than herself. She looked at the horizon, where the sun was setting in a blaze of colors. "The path ahead," she said softly, "is not always clear. But with courage and truth, we can find our way step by step." Her friends nodded, knowing that they, too, had learned something that day. The true test was not in the destination, but in how they chose to walk the path. The rain had fallen, the seeds had been planted, and the future was ready to grow. The rains had subsided, but the earth remained damp, and Lindau knew that she had weathered more than just the literal storms. Riverbend High had become a place of growth, not just in academics, but in spirit. Lindau had cultivated an understanding within herself that not all storms were meant to be feared. Some storms were necessary for growth. One afternoon, as she sat with her friends by the riverbank, a group of students approached her. Among them was Toddy, a quiet student who had always kept to himself. He had recently joined the school, and Lindau noticed the sadness that often clouded his eyes. "Toddy, what's going on? You seem like something is bothering you," she asked, her voice gentle yet filled with concern. Toddy sighed deeply before speaking. "It's my family. My father wants me to follow in his footsteps and take over his business, but my heart isn't in it. I want to pursue something else, but I fear disappointing him." Lindau paused for a moment, reflecting on his words. She had once been in his shoes, feeling the weight of expectations upon her shoulders. She could relate to his internal struggle, the way the pressure of tradition and family honor could pull you in different directions. She looked at him and smiled softly. "Toddy, you know, there's an old saying, the tree does not fear the wind, it bends and grows. You are the tree, and your father's expectations are the wind. You must bend, but you must never break. Find your path, but remember to respect where you come from. You can grow in your own way, even if the wind blows against you." Toddy's eyes brightened as he processed her words. The storm within him had begun to settle, and he now understood that following his heart wasn't an act of rebellion, but of courage. If you enjoyed this story, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button below. Tap the notification bell so you never miss new episodes. And don't forget to like and share if this story touched you. Your support helps us keep bringing you more amazing African tales. See you in the next story